Welcome back. I was supposed to get a haircut, but I don't know, probably tomorrow. Because the salon I was going to got rescheduled. Or there's no one there to cut it right now. But, yeah. Trump did cut billions to Harvard. That's a good place over there, too, that I like to go to. I don't think I've posted any videos of it yet, though. Let's see if we can get a few people to join in, and we'll continue the conversations. Welcome in. You know, they cut billions to Harvard because of the support of Hamas. You can love it or you can hate it, but it's what's happening. Yo, Joshy, how do you feel about Trump cutting billions to Harvard? I really don't care. They're already super mega rich. I think they'll be fine. But we got some Easter things already going on. Where you coming from, Joshy? Shout out Thailand. See, we got a Thai person here. Oh yeah, I do remember. You reminded me. Shout out to South Africa. I do remember, but sometimes it's hard to remember. But I remember you saying that. Yes, sir. Ram. I don't know what that means, but I can tell by your name it's from Thailand. It's Thai. Looking good? What's looking good? I'm getting the new haircut, but this isn't it. I'll probably just go tomorrow because that's when I have an appointment for. Yeah, I know everyone was hating on it, making comments. I mean, it's not too terrible, I guess, but it's fine with the hat. Off with the hat doesn't look too good, honestly. But with the hat, it's just barely bearable. But I'm here at the new Buca Place Mall in Montenegro, Tiviat. I just wanted to say you're an amazing person. I hope everything in your life you put in your mind and you succeed at, you're a winner. And it'll all be okay, I promise. God loves you. Much appreciated, Cassie, much appreciated. I think that goes for everybody watching this and everybody in the comments section. God loves you all, especially Cassie Plum. Good vibes, good vibes. Except in London, there's a lot of issues. You'll get robbed, stabbed mostly. But yeah, London's a cool place. I've been there. I don't know if you've been there, but it's a cool place. It used to be a lot better, but unfortunately, nowhere's perfect. Oh wow, what part? What part? After the pandemic, it got a lot worse. The escalator isn't open yet, but I'm gonna try up here now. I've never been up here. What part of London did you live in? That's pretty cool. A theater will be here. You can't remember. How old were you? Okay, so you were just a baby. Cool little mall they're putting together here. Optics store. New grocery store. Not sure what this one's gonna be, but this is a restaurant. Hello, Nashmed. Sorry, I mispronounced your name probably horribly. Welcome in, everybody. Where are you coming from, Nashmed? I'm lagging my POV. Sorry, man. I hope the connection is good. On my end, it seems good. I got full 5G, LTE. What do you think about Trump, guys? You love the man, you hate the man? I mean, your parents obviously left the UK. I will say they're smart about that, but yeah. Trump means money. I do agree, but unfortunately the dollar has been falling. And it hurts when you live in a European. Yeah, of course he has problems with everything. I got problems with everything too. How do we turn the screen off? Do you think the union is gonna break up? What are we talking about? The European Union? He banned TikTok and it was funny, not gonna lie. I agree, but I don't think it's banned anymore. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's banned anymore. What union do I think is gonna break up? That's an interesting question. The European Union? No, the states. No, they're not gonna break up. Hi, Chantel. I don't think the states are gonna break up. No, that's crazy. The European Union, yeah, that might break up. My name's Graham. Nice to meet you, Chantel. It's not banned anymore. What does BANNED spell? Where are you coming from, Chantel? Isabella's Bernard. It might sound horrible, Chantel, but I have no clue where that is. Is that in South Africa or where? Texas could survive on its own, I agree. Any good burgers over there? Yes, this place right now that's opening up. Really good burger. Best burger I ever had. I've been to Texas. I've been from Florida originally. This is the best burger I ever had. Anywhere. The buns are handmade. Very good quality. It hits different when the bun is handmade. Hey, Bang GGS TV official. The UK? Shout out the UK. Have to fix my connection. Take care. Hope everyone else's connection is good. Drop a W in the comments if your connection is good. Or drop an L if it's laggy. It should be good though. I have really good connection here. Yeah, really good connection. I just had to check everything. Really good connection. So it should be good. Oh yeah, sorry. One thing I said that you can't talk bad about in America is the Jewish people. And I have Jewish family, so you kind of guys already know how I feel about that a little bit. But I don't support anyone being murdered, or I don't support any kind of war. And also, I know I'm not in America, but there's also a lot of Jewish people here that I've seen today. And like I just said, plenty of Jewish family. And plus, I don't believe Harvard should be getting all that money anyway. They're like a large corporation. If it gets too bad, I might have to drop the stream for a second. It's starting to rain a little. But if you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. And if you feel differently, then let me know. But I think it's a good thing what he's doing. Especially if you're Jewish or your family is, then it's great. Even if you hate the man. MAGA. My MAGA family here. What is Trump doing? He's not giving billions to Harvard anymore because they support Hamas. And that is wrong, to support a terrorist organization on your campus. It's crazy. But if you're new here, definitely drop a subscribe button. MAGA. Everyone spam the comments. If you like MAGA, drop a subscribe button. I don't know what you mean by that comment, but the US doesn't support that. Yeah, I'm still overseas. I'll come back to America soon, though. Make America great again. Thank God Trump won. I agree. Smash the subscribe button if you're new here. But yeah, I'm overseas. Here it's 5:30 in the evening. I was a bit busy today with some work and some stuff that I had to do. Not an actual job, but some other work that I was mostly busy to. Listen to Charlie Kirk. I mean, I agree with his viewpoints, but he's very annoying. I sub for all Trump supporters. Oh, appreciated. I'm definitely trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. I really appreciate all you guys getting me to 3,000 subscribers. Much appreciated. I gotta zip up my jacket right now. But what do you guys think? Is there anything you disagree with about MAGA? There's some things I disagree with, to be honest. But I think he's the best option that we had. Almost back to my place, so I'll be able to get out of this. I have to wipe the camera though. Everybody live, bro. Bro's live. If you're help dude out, he seems like good folk. Much appreciated, man. I'm a hard-working man. I believe in the best for every country, and I kind of agree with you, Ozzy, honestly, but it's not how things will truly play out. Every president of the US supports Israel. Even though that's our taxpayer money, we should have a say for it. That's not going to change. And I have plenty of Jewish family. But I don't want people in Gaza and the kids of Palestine to die either. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want anyone to die. Oh God, it's pouring. I'm almost there though, I'm almost there. Let Trump do what he said he was gonna do. He was gonna do and quit bitching about it. I'm not bitching about it. I love Trump. He's the best president in recent American history, if not ever. A lot of people will die. They always die. Gotta wipe the camera off again. I'm gonna run back even a little bit. Let's go for a run, guys. I love Donald J. Trump, though. Hit the like and subscribe if you're new. We're steadily getting close to 4,000. What kind of videos should I come out with, though? I came out with a recent video talking about politics. Normally, I only talked about it on live streams. But if there's any subjects I should talk about, I like rage baiting people. I would never call another grown man that, though. I see you have a Palestine flag, but you're probably upset that Trump is cutting the funding for Harvard because they support Hamas. Say, yo, what's up, Dr. B? Dr. B? No, I do like Trump. A lot of my videos are trolling, but this is not a trolling video. This is a serious discussion. I love people from all over the world. It doesn't matter about Palestine or Israel or Ukraine and Russian. I love them all. No, you don't even sound like you're in the US. I did check out the local food. I think I'm just going to make like a short about it. But I should do some, I've been saying forever now that I'm gonna do some long form food reviews. I just need someone to hold the camera. We should love Trump. Harris would have ended America. Oh, for sure. Every man that ever had a girlfriend in the past 20 years would have been arrested and put in jail for some kind of harassment that's not true. Or just for any made up bullcrap. Bullshit. You know? Let me wipe my phone off now that I'm inside. If Harris won, we'd be stuck in October 2024. True. %. Harris would have been better. She is quite unintellectual. At least some of her BS shit would be stopped. Trump can just do anything he wants. With the Repub, Congress near unanimous support. No, Harris would not be better. Actually, no. December and November were the highest the U.S. stock market has seen. October was alright, but it wasn't the peak. After Trump started winning, that was the peak of the U.S. stock market. Trump is doing what we want him to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. How Harris would have been better. Explain why not. That's really easy. She couldn't even do a simple debate. She couldn't even handle Trump. She couldn't even handle a podcast. She went on one podcast and Trump went on 20. Nobody talks about when the stock market went down in 2022. Facts. I'm the only YouTuber that talks about that. Tell me one you liked. What, one thing I liked about Harris? Harris was drunk during podcast. I agree. Smash the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Trump all day. Honestly, guys, I'd rather Biden been president than Harris. I'd rather Biden come back at 95 years old and be president than Harris. At least we know he's not actually running the country. It's somebody else. He's just sleeping on the job. Like, aren't you liberals at least a little bit happy that your president isn't sleeping on the job anymore? Harris speaks in circles. Remember, she likes buses, and community banks are banks in the community. Community banks are banks in the community. Remember when Joe Biden said poor kids are just as smart as white kids? Classic line. The only thing that I look up to Biden about is that he's never done any real work in his life. All he's ever done is launder money and eat ice cream. His day goes like this. First, he receives a check from China for about $40,000 to $50,000. It gets sent to his son, then it gets sent to his brother. Then his brother's wife gives him a check for about 40 to 50 grand. He picks up some ice cream from McDonald's, and then he takes a couple naps on the beach. I think that's pretty accurate. Do any of you liberals disagree with that? I mean, like I said, I look up to the man for doing that. Who doesn't want to do that? But realistically, it doesn't mean it's not evil and it's wrong. And he lets kids play with his leg hair. Yeah, that's really disgusting. Don't get me started. But if you're new to the channel, smash the like button. She had far better plans and policies. Now we have our allies destroyed. What allies are destroyed? Name one. Or rather, a person who is civil and understands how the field workers than a guy who destroys American perception. Exotic Joe. Free Joe Exotic. But, no, she doesn't understand anything. The only thing Kamala Harris has ever done is put innocent black people in jail for a plant. And even black people that were arrested for other things, she knew that they were wrongfully arrested. She didn't try to help them at all. She put them in jail. She was a prosecutor. There are things I don't agree with Trump does and says Harris was an absolute disaster. Absolutely, Harris was a disaster. The alliances aren't dead, but Europe is already moving away from trading with America. I disagree. They have no choice but to trade with America. They've barely been trading with America in the first place, so they're not going to be able to move away much more. Get a personality and stop idolizing a rapist. He's not a rapist. He was never convicted of rape. Second off, Joe Biden has rape allegations against him. I guess you forgot about that. Third off, I have a great personality and everyone loves me. So you just got debunked 3 times in a row. How does it feel to get roasted? They used to agree with Trump until they wouldn't let him run as Democrat nominee. Now everyone's mad at him, what he's doing just because it's him. Not just black people, she put people of all colors in prison for a plant. Absolutely, that's horrible. Reciprocal tariffs. You forget all these people trading have no morals. I don't know what you mean by that. But I agree. I agree with you. How many liberals do we have in here? Drop a K for Kamala. I think you liberals should stop crying and worrying about Donald Trump at the moment. Worry about how you're going to win the election in 4 years. Because who are you going to put against J.D. Vance that's going to win? I think you guys are going to lose again. Google is a liar. I agree to some extent, but not everything on there is a lie. Oh, I hate Kamala. I'm a liberal. Literally, I'd rather Joe Biden run again than Kamala. I'd rather Joe Biden be in the 2028. But I'm hearing rumors on the street are that Bernie Sanders is your best hope of 2028, and that's really sad because he will be, I think he'll be 87 or 88 years old. Do you guys think Bernie Sanders can beat J.D. Vance? Drop a B for Bernie, drop a J for J.D. 4 cans shy of a 6-pack. Yeah, I hate Trump, but opposition is shit. Absolutely. We got 2-1, JD versus Bernie. I mean, I think Bernie would stand a better chance realistically if he was about 20 to 30 years younger. Who said JD Vance was the least liked vice president in history? Whoopi, Joy, or Sonny? Nobody is crying. The educated people are trying to inform the uneducated people. Every argument you've had has been about personality, not policy. It shows with the state of our economy. Everything maybe I've said in the last 10 minutes, possibly, but we can start talking about some policy if you want to talk about policy. You believed in closed borders or do you want open borders? What is a woman? What is a woman? Answer those two questions. Do you believe in open borders or closed borders? And what is a woman? Those are two simple questions. If you can't answer these, then Bernie is a rich man who complains about oligarchs for 2 decades. Actually, I think he's been complaining about oligarchs since the 80s, so that's 4 decades. I don't know if you saw the video Elon Musk posted about him. Why is it okay for other countries to charge the U.S. to import goods to their country, but it's a huge problem for the U.S. to charge them money to import goods into our country? Just wonderful. J.D. Vance! Yeah, I think J.D. Vance will be a great president, but he might have a little bit of political issues because people are going to say, oh, what about this? He used to say that he hated Trump. He called Trump a Nazi before. Yada, 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 yada. People change their opinions, and some people in their lives, especially when you come from a rough background with a crazy mom and drug addicts and stuff in your family, you go through different stages of life when you don't come from billions and millions like a lot of politicians do. Bernie is not rich. You are 100% moronic. Bernie has over $10 million in his bank account. Look it up. It's public news on the Forbes list. Bernie is worth over $10 million. So how is he not rich? Is $10 million not rich to you? If $10 million isn't rich to you, then I guess you must be pretty rich to me. You said not really. Then how much money do you have? 10 million is very rich. Especially when you're bragging about socialism and talking about giving all this money away that you've never given away. Yeah, J.D. Vance got my vote for 2028 when I saw him go to the Marine Corps and shoot some guns and just be a badass. He got my vote then and there. Rich is relative. Compared to other politicians like Trump, he's not rich. Well, that's the most retarded statement in the world. The Prince of Qatar, or the Prince of, not Qatar, but the Prince of the royal family of Dubai, compared to Trump is poor compared to them. They got trillions of dollars. He only has a couple billions. They got trillions. They got trillions of dollars in their family. With all their family wealth, they got trillions of dollars. Trump is poor compared to them. See what kind of sense that is? A lot of you Democrats that support Bernie just lack common sense. If Bernie's poor compared to Trump, then Trump is poor compared to the royal families. Bernie owns multiple beachfront properties. Great point. These people who hate Trump need some serious help. Okay, you've talked me into subscribing to your channel. Well, I'm glad to hear that. But I'm tired of hearing about Trump was born with money. I mean, yeah, it's true. His dad gave him a couple $1 million loan. But he also went bankrupt. I'm also sick of people saying, oh, Trump's a loser. He went bankrupt. He went bankrupt. Yeah, well, how many people do you know that went bankrupt? And how many of them got billions of dollars back after it? It takes people years, sometimes decades, to enter our country legally. Have sympathy for people who want to leave horrible conditions and better their lives and their family. I do have sympathy for them. There's plenty of beautiful countries that will let these people in legally. And I do truly feel bad for the immigrants trying to come to America that don't have very much money, because you're right, the immigration system in the USA is very messed up. There's no way they can get in without it taking years, unless they seek asylum, which seeking asylum can be a much quicker process. But I know some of my friends that came from Italy, literally. One of them told me it took about them almost 3 to 4 years. So I understand that it's not a good system in the US to immigrate to, but you got to think for a second. Do you know how many other great countries there are? I know everyone wants free welfare and free money from the United States, but there's other countries they can go to. If they're willing to work hard, they can make a great life for themselves. They don't have to break a law of a country and come in illegally. They don't have to come in illegally. That's a crime. They're asking for even a harder life, because being deported and taken away from your family and having your kids put in the back of an ICE car, that's probably the worst thing that could ever really happen to them, especially if you're going to break the laws of a country and enter illegally. But I absolutely do empathize with immigrants that are trying to come to the U.S. and start a life. Unless you have a U.S. spouse or a husband or a wife in the U.S., it'll take a very long time. But if you have a wife or a husband in the U.S., you can get the visa rather quickly. I mean, that's one of the quickest ways to do it. I heard it takes a year or less for a lot of people in that situation. How do you sound right now? $3 million is enough to put you in the top % of the U.S. Laughing my ass off. Agreed. That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. My stupidity is criminal. Your insults and intelligent conversations are criminal. You have nothing intellectual to say. All you got to say is, you're stupid, you're stupid. I know what kind of person you are. You're a liberal that wished Kamala Harris won. Well, she didn't win, buddy. And calling another person stupid isn't going to change that. Where is an impoverished family from Mexico going to go besides here? Think they can afford a plane ticket, much less apply to immigrate to Germany? Probably not. They can seek asylum if they're getting harassed by cartels. Listen, I 100% understand. One of my family members actually came to the United States illegally. They're from Mexico. They came into the United States in a barrel illegally, but they still wanted Donald Trump for president, both in the first term and in the second term. They eventually got their legal status after they realized that they have legal rights to be here through family and whatnot. But everyone should follow the law of a country. I know plenty of people that live in Mexico and they have a great life there. Just because there's a lot of crime and violence, there's a lot of crime and violence in California and other states, and Florida where I'm from, and other places. Sorry, King, $3 million at retirement is the recommended amount of retiring. Sorry if your finances aren't up. Well, Bernie has a lot more than $3 million. He has over $10 million of recorded net worth. I mean, yeah, I called you stupid after we had a conversation, but I didn't call you stupid right off the bat. I actually made an intelligent argument. I didn't just say, oh, you're stupid, and end the conversation. That's what a lot of these liberals do. They just say, oh, do you hear yourself? You're stupid, you're stupid. Well, if I'm going to call someone stupid, at least I'm going to prove my point first. People that attack you and not the argument just have nothing to say and are in bad faith. Exactly. That's most of the Kamala Harris supporters. People know what's up. Do it right or stay out, just like my great grandparents had to do. Exactly, same here. They can go to Brazil. If Mexico is too much for them, there's neighboring countries that are much safer. What about Argentina? They can get in their car and drive their family down there. But I don't agree with illegal immigration, but we have made it close to impossible to immigrate here legally. I know you have sympathy for these people, but MAGA wants to get rid of them, not help them. Absolutely, MAGA and most of the citizens of the United States, including Hillary Clinton and Obama, everyone go look this up. Obama deported more illegals in his first term than Trump did in his first term. Obama was heavily against illegal immigration. But you probably won't believe me, but it's the truth. Geography is my strong suit. Get in your car and drive down to Argentina. It might take a couple days, but it's possible. Are you wearing a wig? No, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, though. Have fun, guys. Nothing any of us says matters. We need to move to North Korea. There is a legal process to immigrate to the USA. That's what we ask. Yeah, but he's arguing that the legal process takes way too long, which I agree, but it needs to be changed, but I don't eat McDonald's. I'm not an overweight liberal. No offense to any of them in my comments, but Trump totes McDonald's, MAGA. Good point. But I'm not Trump. The country I live in doesn't even have McDonald's. But I'm an American citizen. I love visiting America quite frequently. John Cena for president. I agree. If anyone thinks my rhetoric or comments about how wonderful Trump is stupid, they're welcome to leave the United States. Because the fact is, the majority of the United States agrees with what I'm saying. That's why Trump won the popular vote and the Electoral College. So you can call me stupid as much as you want, but the majority of Americans agree with me and the majority of Americans disagree with you. So you can go cry about it, be upset with it, leave the country if you want. I love South Carolina, man. Love the Carolinas. Great place. The rest of the world doesn't hate America. You guys have been brainwashed to believe that the rest of the world hates of America and hates Donald Trump. That's very incorrect. Most of them love America and most of them love Trump. They might not like what Trump does, but they look up to his strong leadership and charisma. That's really sad because if I truly believed Donald Trump was like Mussolini or Hitler, I would immediately leave the country. If I believed he was a dictator or an oligarch, I would leave. That's the difference between liberals and Republicans. One of us has common sense, the other just cries and complains and does nothing. I truly believe 80% of America wants Trump. Damn right. Hit the like and subscribe button. Almost to 4,000 subscribers. Just because a country puts tariffs on another country doesn't mean they don't like somebody. You're incorrect. Lots of countries have tariffs on other countries. It's not just the US. Educate yourself a little bit before you speak. Rosie, you're wrong. The stock market in 2019 was amazing. You had to change it to 2020 though, because that's the year of the pandemic. Didn't Biden become president in 2020? Huh. If you think Trump doesn't have good business skills, you're a moron. You don't become a billionaire by accident. It's a victim mentality. It truly is a victim mentality. If I believed I was being terrorized by a Nazi or an oligarch, I would immediately leave the country. That's the difference between Republicans and Democrats, though. One of us acts and one of us cries and complains. And one of us has a victim mentality, and the other one tries to fix their situation at all costs. How do you go from bankrupt to billions? Genius, that's how. Pure genius. Canada should join the United States before it's too late. All their leaders are horrible. Well, if you really believe Trump is Hitler, then I would probably want to run away before I get put in the gas chamber, right? Rosie, you're not old enough to actually buy anything at the grocery store, so I don't think you can talk about prices. I'm sorry. Exactly, Rosie. You're 19, you still live with your parents buy your groceries. Me and you are not the same. I actually know about prices. Egg prices, meat prices, everything has gone down under Trump. The only thing that went up short term was, yeah, 19. Mom is still buying food. Thank you, Patriot. Thank you. Doesn't even live by herself. Doesn't even buy her own food and is talking about food prices. Crazy, right? Appreciate you, King. Hope you hit the like and subscribe button, man. A man with common sense like you, I'd like to see you around more on the channel. Alright, now I'm done eating my steak. You vegan liberals out there are probably pissed off that I just ate a steak. I ate a cow. Look, Rosie, look how you're acting. Read your own comments and talk to me when you're an adult. It's okay, the cream one. She's not even old enough to drink yet, so don't think she pays her own bills or her own grocery bills. Rosie's having a temper tantrum. Temper tantrum. Send her to her room. You know what I love more than young patriots? I love old patriotic, wise dads. And you know what I hate more than young liberals? I hate the old 50-year-old, not wise 60-year-old liberals that come on here. They just name call me. I make fun of them though because I'm in my 20s and I'm in my mid 20s and they're literally twice my age, complaining about how Trump is making me poor, quote unquote, why they can't even afford to pay the taxes on their property. Patriotic dad, shout out to you. You seem like a wise man. You didn't waste those 50 years on this earth. You educated yourself, you took care of your family, and I respect you, and I respect everyone on here. You're welcome. You have common sense. Think about this for a second. There's people really your age that come on this channel just to name call me, just because of my political views. We're all humans. We don't have to name call each other just because we have different opinions. That's probably the most immature, crazy thing that I've seen on YouTube, especially. I mean, specifically on YouTube. Ted Heeman, how do you feel? Do you like Trump or do you hate the man? Even if you hate the man, I appreciate you for coming on here and not just leaving some crazy, radical, hateful comments like most people have been doing. I respect you being younger. That have you done your homework? Yes, much appreciated. I like to do my own research. I used to actually support Obama. That was like the first time I was ever getting into politics and stuff like that. I used to like Obama. He did a lot of some things that I was kind of agreeing with, like he like believed deporting illegal immigrants and immigrants that committed crimes and stuff like that. But after he really got into office, I realized, no, I'm never going to be a Democrat again in my life. It's just not going to happen. I don't support what that man did. But he certainly wasn't as bad as on my computer screen. She still gets an allowance. That's a good one. Don't hate him, but don't love him either. I don't agree with everything Trump does, like him saying that he's going to run a third term. That is kind of, not really heard of in the modern times. But everything else, a lot of other things, I mostly agree with him, but I think he went a little bit too soft in his tariffs. Like, I understand he's trying to reward NVIDIA and Apple and these companies by taking away the Chinese tariffs on their products, like the phones and chips. But there's a lot of other companies. Hey, it's UCAN trash. We got a huge Democrat. This guy loves Joe Biden. He loves Harris. Yes, another MAGA dude. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. MAGA is the majority in the United States of America, unfortunately for you crybaby liberals. Hey Maria, how you doing? I don't know about Trump running for a third term. I kind of agree with the liberals here. That's a little bit unconstitutional. You can be registered of whatever you want. I don't really care. My mom's a registered independent too, but she doesn't vote for Joe Biden. Lots of people are registered independents. That doesn't mean anything. I'm good, Maria. I'm good. It's raining outside right now, but honestly, shout out you, Jessica Kirk. Hope you hit the like and subscribe button. But talking about Obama, that man, honestly, compared to modern day Democrats, Obama wasn't too bad. Like Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, all these people are a million times worse than Obama was. I'm not a liberal, I'm a red socialist. Not really a fan of socialism. If you want to live in a socialist country, you can leave America. To be honest, instead of tariffs, you should just focus on making production products and labor to be accessible. The reason why companies choose to build in China is because everything is cheaper. Well, say I'm wrong, but I don't think China's the cheapest country for labor. I think India and other countries, Malaysian countries, are much cheaper for labor. And what about all the other countries putting tariffs on America and stuff like that? They're putting tariffs on us first. We're just defending ourselves. Yes, Biden and Kamala, way worse. True. Man, I wish you followed me on OnlyFans. I would have a lot more money. I did. I live in China. Well, congratulations to you. Then you're kind of have a reason to hate Trump. Build it in America again. But I love Chinese people. I just don't like the government too much. But I want to visit. I mean, when I say I don't like the government, I do like it. Like, I want to visit China and stuff like that. I'm not going to bad talk them or anything like that. But when I say I don't like the government, I mean I don't like their beefing issues with my country. New subscriber, glad I found you. Glad you found me too. Well, you can vote in California all you want. It's always going to be a blue state, so that does nothing. If you include the Electoral College, your vote just disappears anyway. I had to tell my brother that we are the ones that pay the tariff, not the other way around. Well, think about this for a second. If Chinese products get more expensive, if that was true, if Chinese products get more expensive, then maybe Americans will start shopping local more. To be honest, most people just learn what tariffs are. Not me, I've been knowing about tariffs for years now. But if you're 18 or 19 or 17 years old, you probably just learned about them, yeah. If the tuition fee is that high, they don't need to pay billions of dollars from America. I agreed. Harvard is like a giant corporation just sucking in money. Oh, I get it. He doesn't, though. Got to troll people with the third term, though. People forgot Trump loves to do that. Damn right. I honestly do think he was trolling people with that, too. That's a great point. Why is it bad for other countries to have tariffs on the U.S. if they don't want their citizens to buy locally? Good point, good point. People, we have been paying tariffs for a very long time to multiple countries, and we get nothing in return but for broken products from these countries. Nothing is wrong with reciprocal tariffs. The tariffs that Trump put, I wouldn't even consider them reciprocal because he put them sometimes lower than the tariffs they have on us. If anything, he's being generous and soft on them. Like if I was Trump, you guys would be more pissed off at Graham than you would be at Trump because I would be going 100 times more berserk. I would say off the bat, 400% tariff on Chinese goods, no exceptions. I understand why he eased all the tariffs on chip makers and computer makers, but that doesn't mean I agree with it. He should have kept going hard on China. He should have kept going hard on China. Is he trying to lose the tariff war against China? I get why he did it, to help American companies like Apple, Nvidia coming in, building factories, Apple building factories. He's trying to help American companies, but we got to fight against China at the same time. American products are great quality compared to Chinese and Asian products and Indian products. If Trump is losing the fight, then why did 60 countries beg him to turn off his tariffs and they'll do the same for him? And they'll also fix the trade deficit. They said they'll spend more money with the USA than we spend with them. That doesn't sound like he's losing. It sounds like you're losing. But then again, no matter what Trump does, even if Trump cures cancer himself with his own science, people like you, Katrash, will hate that man. There's nothing he can do for that to change. Just answer the question, you Katrash. What is a woman? And if Trump cured cancer or the worst diseases in the world himself, would you love him or would you discredit him? You would discredit him. Thank you, the cream one. Thank you for your great comments. Salute to you. Hope you hit the like and subscribe button. But lefties were completely silent when Dems were talking about reciprocal tariffs back in the 90s. Most of these lefties weren't even alive in the 90s, so of course they were silent. You can trash. Are you that ignorant that you think any president could pay off the debt in 3 months of their presidency? Give that man a little bit more time, for crying out loud. I didn't see what you just posted, but I'll definitely check out your channel. We got this Quain Salat guy. That's not even an American name. You're probably not even inside of America. So why are you speaking so much? You're not an American citizen. You don't live in the U.S. So why are you hating on Trump so much? Are you some kind of foreign bot, foreign agent? You a Russian bot or something? Trump 2024. Hit the like and subscribe button. Probably an illegal alien. No, I don't think he lives in the US. I think he's like paid by another government to comment on Trump accounts. Honda just announced they are moving all plants to the United States. Shout out Honda. Trump 2028. The debt can be paid off in 4 years, but you actually have to cut spending, which Congress and Trump aren't doing. Trump is doing that with Elon Musk, but Congress, that's another issue. There's a huge amount of Democrats there. Trump can't control Congress fully. The separation of powers and stuff like that, I'm sure you guys know. Do we got any liberals in here that absolutely hate carnivores and hate people that eat steaks? I would love to hear from them. These are the lowest IQ liberals. Hey, Skeeto, how are you, my man? I'm good. I'm about to get a haircut tomorrow, so all the haters can stop it. I'm a libertarian. Hey, I love my libertarians, actually. But don't you like RFJ Jr.? He's a libertarian, sorry. Hey, no racism in here. You will be kicked out. Alright, that's it. I'm removing your comments. Put user in timeout. I need my wig adjusted also. It's real, guys. It's real. You want to see? It looks horrible. Yes, I agree. But it's real. I know you're balding, or you're already bald, so you wear a wig, but mine is real. What's new about the tariffs? Honestly, I don't think anything other than I mentioned that Trump is pretty much ending his tariffs on China when it comes to electronics. You're wrong. He doesn't want more government control over business. We're talking about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yes, Trump is building a wall around Mexico. But the Honda factory in America will create American jobs, so you're wrong, kind of. It does benefit America, if that's the point you're trying to prove. Something on my phone, have to reconnect. Man, you should seen the other day. I had so many haters, I couldn't even see the good comments. I just got a haircut yesterday. My hair looked horrible. Kind of how I feel currently, but I still like it, honestly. I love myself enough that even if my hair is messed up, I'll accept it. I'm just saying, buy Ford, Chrysler, or Chevrolet. Why do you care? You're in China. Why are you trying to speak in on American politics? Do you even have the citizenship? RFK Jr. is my second favorite in government. My first is Elon. If you want to consider him in government, I guess you would. Second is RFK. Third is Trump. But I love Trump, don't get me wrong. I never heard RFK say anything about gun control, but I do agree with his attacks on pharmaceutical companies. The pharmaceutical companies are almost a part of the government at this point. As a libertarian, you should consider that. They're like a part of the government, they're receiving government lobbying money. We got Quan Salute, another foreign agent that continues to speak on American politics. Well, of course you vote in California. You don't need an ID to vote there. Hey man, can you explain the process of Parlamentario in Spain? I'm looking forward to moving to Spain as someone who wants to change his tourist visa to a Spain residency. I wish I could explain that to you, but when I lived in Spain, I had a lawyer to do that for me, so I don't know anything about it. I'm in my mid-20s. You do need a California ID to vote in Cali. I'm from Cali, so you're mistaken. Okay, maybe I am mistaken, but maybe that's just a joke. That's a black man. I think Donald Trump doing a great job as a president. He never broke his word, and he's doing exactly what he said he would do in his campaign. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Can someone tell me who Dan Bongino is? I'm kind of out of the loop. You know that Doug Elfin wanted to lease on lithium pits in North Carolina after Hurricane Helene hit? Did not know that. Hi. Am I Hunter Biden? Absolutely not. That man is a menace. Who, RFK or who? They stand outside Home Depots. You know who else stands outside Home Depots? The illegal immigrants looking for jobs. Thank you, the cream one. I'm kind of out of the loop. It's hard to remember all these politicians and people in the government. I had my hair way longer than this before. It's been in my face before. Wow, he was a YouTuber with 13 million subscribers? Alright guys, I need to look this guy up. Hold up. I'm looking him up on YouTube now. Yeah, I've seen this guy before. I'm just not the best with names, to be honest. What should we watch about this guy? Oh, he goes in on Hunter Biden and Epstein. I don't see his YouTube, but I can probably find it. I have 14 million bots. We'll use those 14 million bots to all subscribe to my channel, and I'll be one of the best ranking YouTubers in the world. Dan was a Secret Service member for Obama and had his own show until recently. I missed Dan's daily podcast. He was also former law enforcement. He warns Hillary Clinton. Who the hell is Stephen Gardner? I like to support smaller creators. I'm a musician, but in that world I have to bite my tongue and keep quiet. One thing about me, no one can make me bite my tongue or keep quiet. By the time any of these Democrat DNC people offer me money to do videos for them, it'll be way too late. I'm not taking that $20,000 to sell my soul. It's not happening. My opinions are my opinions. I don't have any crazy formal education. So, but the most intelligent people in this world don't always have Harvard degrees.
No one's done more to expose the deep state than me. I'm not going to allow you to be misled.
Let's watch Benny Johnson. All right, see you, Jessica.
No one's done more to expose
I'm just going to play this man, Danny Bongino, or however you say his name.
What's up, guys? Benny, our threshold for what we would classify as
Benny!
tweet is really high on this program.
I like Benny because he's not annoying as shit like some of the people
I
are.
promise not to do this to Greenland. Boy, damn, he do it right. But I would argue that the day before...
Educational is school of hard knocks. I agree with you.
Director of the FBI,
Benny took money from Russia. Any proof on that? Russia, 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 Russia. All the Democrats ever in history.
Tweet territory. Still not tired of watching liberal media goons their diapers.
Biden took money from China. That's proven. No one cares about that.
Food that my soul craves. Keep it up, media dippers. Again, within the week, Dan Bongino would be appointed the deputy director of the FBI. Now you know why there was such a psychotic freakout. And it's not like Dan didn't warn us. Dear libs, this is only stage one of the multi-stage F-around portion of the
F-around
agenda. More fun ahead. Please buckle up. Thanks, America. Dan Bongino posting this on January 27th. Warning about what was to come. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what was to come. Dan Bongino officially sworn in today as the deputy director of the FBI. Dan Bongino sworn in at 8 a.m. this morning in Washington, D.C. This is the deep state's biggest fear. We had to, of course, go to Grok to get this image of Dan Bongino as an FBI agent. But soon after his swearing in, there was a public photo released, and this was the first public photo released of Dan Bongino at the FBI. We've had no other photos. Here's the one, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Bongino wearing suit and tie. Of course, if you are a fan of Dan Bongino.
Listen, it makes no difference to me if this guy took money from Russia. He makes a lot of good videos and good points.
Last few years on his very successful live streaming show. Now Dan Bongino in a suit. And what is he doing? After a swearing-in ceremony as FBI Deputy Director, Dan Bongino paid his respects to the
He's not a politician. It doesn't matter.
Who made the ultimate sacrifice in reflecting the legacy of those who paved the way in pursuit of justice and security. So Dan Bongino is honoring FBI agents who died.
He's an independent citizen. He can take money from whoever he wants.
Some of these are black and white photos. They go all the way back. Don't know any of these individual cases, but Dan Bongino's taking a note of it. And this is like a clearly respectful thing to do as soon as you enter the building. So well done. The responses are great. Love this man. Let's go. Coming soon to DC. Jeffrey Epstein, arrest counter. Everyone.
Good point, Patriot Dad.
This is what we voted for.
They have ways of hiding money.
He's willing to wear a suit. He hates suits. There you go. There you go. Finally. This is what we were looking for. Perfect meme. Okay, all right. Dan Bongino posting today, his first day, at 6 a.m., just 2 American flags. Release the hound. It's already been 2 hours. Where are the files, Dan? Just kidding. Good morning. Let's go. Let's get ready for work. Let's freaking go. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Bongino officially sworn in. And here's your team right there.
That's one hell of a team.
We were chilling with Cash this past week on Friday. Sat next to Cash at a Department of Justice Donald Trump speech. Pretty cool. And Cash told us, we're getting to work, man. Get ready. Get ready. He said, buckle up to me. He said the fun hasn't even started yet. That's the exact quote. Tucker Carlson saying that this is a very patriotic sacrifice that Dan Bongino is making. Tucker Carlson was a special guest on the new version of Dan's show, right, which has been rebranded. True. That feeling when tomorrow is Dan Bongino's first day of work at the FBI. I actually still can't believe Dan Bongino is the new deputy director of the FBI. Doesn't need Senate confirmation. This is why Adam Schiff is shifting his pants right now, selecting another right-wing Fox personality and internet troll. Dan Bongino, deputy director of the FBI, means 2 things. Trump installs another loyalist who won't say no to any immoral or unethical act, and our law enforcement agencies and public safety are further degraded. Yeah, they're raging about Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino raging back. Another extremist internet troll. Okay, look forward to your Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Dick Durbin, with a living F. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Bongino having a profound and deeply heartfelt message to his audience. And his final message to his audience from his final show. We've never played this on the program before, but I think that you should absolutely see it to see sort of into the heart of the man who I consider a mentor, somebody who's helped us out a lot on this program, obviously let us get our legs underneath us, and somebody who's clearly set to do great things. Godspeed, Dan Bongino. Here's his final sign-off.
I'm really
Lunatic.
just a little bit overwhelmed. Because, with the show and all the clips and having everybody here, it's the energy kind of just distracts you from the reality of, what's about to happen. And it really hit me this morning. I want you to know how much I love you guys. I mean that. People throw that term around, but I really love you guys. I feel like I've met so many of you. Some of you I've never even seen, whether it was Eric or Jeremy on the radio show. I chose early on to interact with my audience in kind of a different way, and it's paid me back so many dividends. And there's nothing more incredible than going out at a book signing and someone goes,
Peace out, Patriot Dad.
hey,
Thanks
how'd
for
that
joining.
Dave Lucy the other day work out? And you're like, how'd you know that? Like, you said it on the radio. I'm like, I did? Like, the relationship seems so asymmetric at times. Like, you know about me, but I don't know about you. But I know all I need to know about you, which is you've been there for me when I needed you. And to walk away from this was, I promise you, was not easy. But I absolutely know that this was the right thing to do. I've told you over and over, but that measure the effectiveness of what you do in your life by how people who stand and tell you to stop react. And the reaction has been exactly what I expected. I promise you this, I'm going there with a clear mission in mind. I go there with a clear head. This was done for the right reasons. And I am really, really, really going to miss doing this and being here with you every day. From this point on, if you follow me on deep breath, see, breathe in, it's easier. My social media accounts are not going to be abandoned, but I won't be posting about politics. It'd be inappropriate for my time. There's understandable restrictions on that, which make perfect sense. But you can still follow me. I'll be opening up different accounts and official accounts and things like that. But I have to stay out of the political space because it's the right thing to do and it's the rules. And I hope you understand that. I'm not going there to be some partisan. I know the people who hate my guts in the media. I don't expect you to understand that. The idea of putting aside your politics to do a job is definitely foreign to you. I totally get that, but it's not to me. You know, I proudly protected 2 Democrat presidents and a Republican. No problem at all. I'm not sure you could do that, but I did. And now it's a different protection law. So I still got a radio show to do, which is crazy. How I'm going to get through that. So I'll end as I began. I'll see you guys on the other side.
What conservative values do you have? You can't name a single conservative value you have, Yuka. And much appreciated, Dillzilla. You're a hero, bro. We've seen how they treated your patriotism. I'm not sure if you mean me or Dan Bongino's, but I'm going to pretend you're talking about me too. But no, Yuka, you don't have a single conservative value in your blood. Anyone that's conservative, you hate them. Hey, much appreciated. Hit the like and subscribe button. That's not a conservative value. That's just being responsible. That's just being responsible with your money. That's not a conservative value. Nice try.
That was hard, man.
I'm just talking about how crazy radical this man Yuka Trash is. He doesn't have one single conservative value. He hates anyone that's conservative. He hates Dan Bongino or anyone that has a conservative value. Absolutely not. I do not believe the fake lies. And most people my age, I would say 70 to 80% people my age do not believe in CNN and all this bullcrap fake shit. How poorly I maintain myself? I maintain great. I look great. You're so, what's the word for it? You're so ashamed of yourself. You don't even have your own face on your YouTube. You don't have your real name. You don't have the name that your parents gave you. You don't have your face. You don't have any of that, but you want to comment hateful things. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, buddy. Have you seen my skin and my looks compared to yours? I know what kind of person you are. You're just a radical leftist. You're pissed that Trump is president. Go leave the country then. Go leave the country. You're just ashamed of who you are as a person. You're probably a 9-year-old in China or something. And YouTube is social media, unless you're just consuming content and spreading hate, which is all you do. You don't benefit from that. You're not even having actual conversations. You're just spreading hate. Well done, Trump, from the UK. Much appreciated. Big shouts out UK. All because I don't brush my hair. I don't maintain myself. Well, look how good I look and look how good my skin looks. And look how good, full, and healthy my hair is compared to your fallen out ass hair and your crusty looking skin. If you were so good looking, you would be more proud of yourself and the name that your parents gave you. But you're nobody. You don't have anything. You don't have any subscriber or presence of anyone. If you die tomorrow, no one's going to care. How does it feel?
Hey, my English not so good.
Hey, my English not so good. We got another rainbow LGBTQ guy here. Nothing is bait here. I'm a big Trump supporter. Hey, my boy Grasshopper. We're putting on more Trump. We're going to really piss these liberals off today. I'm not spreading hate. If you ever actually read my messages or knew what my channel was about, you know it's all about peace and love. They are projecting on Euro. Damn right they are. Bro, how do I need a shower? My skin looks flawless. My hair just needs to be brushed. I think it's funny how all the left Trump supporters said he would be in prison and now MAGA's got us last. All left projects. Damn right. I want to pin that one comment though. No, a 9-year-old in China is at work right now. Well, they should be at work. They're going to get hit by their slave master in 2 seconds if they don't get off my YouTube and get back to work.
News alert. Well, they are trying to use lawfare against President
Let's hit
Trump
them with
again,
Trump.
this time over the immigration
Make them
agenda.
cry.
An
Hit them with the
Obama-appointed judge has blocked the
hit
Trump
them with a good
administration
Trump
from revoking
video.
the legal status of more than a
Really
half
piss
million
them
people
off.
from different countries.
How do you feel? You wake up every day and you see a
Biden
man on the
program,
TV,
where he
you
could
just
fly
call
them
him
in
names and
was
hate
just
him, and
fine.
he's
This
your
still
leader. There's
So that's
nothing
where
you
we
can
sit
do
now,
about it.
waiting
Go
for all
protest
of
and
this to play
cry.
out with this lawfare.
This is
It was
Trump's
supposed to be
America
temporary.
now. You see these
And
crazy
after
eyes, you don't want to
widespread
deal with them.
fraud was found. Authorities arrested several program recipients for violent crimes, including child rape. I'm Harris Faulkner.
We're talking about policy. Stop the illegal immigration. More harder tariffs.
They were not going to return the deported Salvadoran national who was living in Maryland.
Hell
The
no.
White House says he
Deported.
has ties to MS-13.
Deported
the
his
notorious gang.
ass.
Homeland Security Advisor
Straight
and
up out of
Deputy White
there.
House Chief of Staff Stephen Miller said this during a pretty intense Q&A with reporters.
It's their own citizen, right? So remember, this whole entire conversation has been wrong from the beginning because nobody was mistakenly deported anywhere. That's like the big fact that most of you have gotten wrong. No one was mistakenly sent anywhere. He is El Salvadorian. He is an illegal alien. He was deported to El Salvador. I would welcome anyone here to tell me what country they think we should be sending El Salvadorian illegal aliens to.
That's a great question. In Maryland, a jury convicted an illegal immigrant of murdering, we know, Rachel Morin, that mom who had 5 children. President Trump posted, the illegal criminal who was allowed into our country by crooked Joe Biden was convicted of the heinous murder of Rachel Morin, adding that the media should be focusing on the beautiful life and tragic death of the Maryland mother rather than the so-called Maryland father. The new Border Patrol numbers show the dramatic impact of Trump's border crackdown. Just last month, CBP reported 264 border encounters a day. It has gone to a trickle across our border. Look at what it was a year ago. The number was 4,488. coming across the border daily. And the president also shared his plan to deport more criminals.
Could we use it for violent criminals, our own violent criminals?
I call them homegrown criminals.
Yes.
I mean, the
homegrowns.
the ones that grew up and something went wrong and they hit people over the head with a baseball bat. We have, and push people into subways just before the train gets there, like you see happening sometimes. We are looking into it and we want to do it. I would love to do that.
Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy. Peter.
Harris, the question then becomes, what laws might the president and White House officials be looking to change to have the legal authority to take Americans off the streets and send them to these inexpensive prison cells in Central America?
Is that legal to do? Is that something you're allowed to do?
Well, Jesse, these are Americans who he is saying who have committed the most heinous crimes in our country. And crime is going to decrease dramatically because he has given us a directive to make America safe again. These people need to be locked up as long as they can, as long as the law allows. We're not going to let them go anywhere. And if we have to build more prisons in our country, we will do it.
The DNC chair, Ken Martin, complains Trump wants to deport American citizens to prisons in El Salvador. That's unconstitutional, un-American, and terrifying. We cannot normalize this. Speak out and organize like our democracy depends on it, because it does. But for the time being, Trump...
We got an actual moron in here. Colin is claiming that Elon Musk took away his Social Security money. I'm laughing. Not one single report has been made about Elon Musk taking any retirees or elderly people's Social Security or Medicare away. That would be all over Twitter. That would be all over CNN. That would be all over the news. And you know it. You're a sack of shit for spreading lies too, by the way. You're spreading lies about Elon Musk and about American politics. You're driving fear into elderly Americans' hearts. People that don't know better what to believe, you're scaring them. Stop scaring innocent Americans. Elon Musk has not taken away one person's Social Security that's actually living and that's actually qualified to receive it. Not one single person. You can ask ChatGPT, you can ask Grok, you can ask DeepSeek, you can ask any news source, Google, YouTube, anyone. Not one single person has reported their benefits being taken away by Elon Musk. Not Medicare, not Social Security, nothing. Bullshit lies. He's spreading them. Do your own research. This guy Colin is a Chinese bot.
is not on an island with this idea. El Salvador is willing to take Americans or whoever else, and once they're in El Salvador, President Bukele has no intention of letting them go, like the accused gang leader from Maryland, Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
How can I return him to the United States? Like, could I smuggle him into the United States or whatever? Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, I mean, the question is preposterous.
And we are now awaiting word on which executive orders President Trump plans to sign early this afternoon. Harris?
He had such a great question. How would he put the guy back into the United States? Like smuggle him in? I mean, wow. Deep stuff. Peter, thank you. Republican Senator Bernie Moreno of the great state of Ohio, member of the Homeland Security and Commerce Committees, is with me now. Your reaction to this and this latest lawfare move against President Trump?
Would you ever imagine that we're sitting here debating whether we should deport criminal gang member aliens from this country? I mean, the Democrat Party's at a 21% approval rating. They could get to zero pretty soon if they continue on this path. Look, I'm a legal immigrant to this country. I came here legally with my family. It's disgusting to watch this country reward people who skip the line, let alone criminals, people who are gang members, affiliated to terrorist organizations. And we have the radical leftists wanting to bring them more into the United States. It's insane. And look, Americans voted on November 5th for a secure border, and that's what they've got.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about. I mean, I think Americans are pretty clear-eyed on what it means to share spaces for resources and money and all the rest. When people are in the country flowing across an unaided border, they weren't vetting. National security was in jeopardy the entire time Biden was in office.
Yeah, the more outrageous thing is that we sent private jets to Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Haiti and